So we are roughly at the first quarter mark for the NBA season. I want to give out some awards. Well, instead, I want to do some stocks. Let's talk about who you should buy, who not. All of that in about 20 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button while you are here, as well as share, because sharing is definitely caring. So, being we're at the first quarter of the NBA season, this is where the funny money teams are starting to come out, especially when it comes to the stock game. Talk about stocks, about teams, who to invest in, who not. So, I was looking at these. I'm looking at the way the season is going, and I got to give it to you. Let me point out a few of them. All right. We'll start with some old faithfuls. The Apple stock. Apple has been consistent. They're always trending up on a regular basis. I mean, they have some dips here and there, but you know that in the end, they're going to make you money. There's a stock that I would do on the NBA with that. It's going to be the Lakers. They are your Apple. They're steady, enough innovation. They've added enough pieces. They add enough players. They are consistent with who they are, what they do, and they're not going to fail you to get to the playoffs. We're talking about playoff stocks for right now. They're going to get you to the playoffs. Don't even worry about it. Another old faithful is your Microsoft stock. Everybody has Microsoft Windows has been around forever. They're not going anywhere. I mean, there's really only two operating systems in the world. It's Mac OS and Windows. I mean, Linux and all of that stuff exists, but unless you're really in the minutia and get really granular in technology, you don't care about those. Windows, Mac, Microsoft, your other old faithful. They're going to do their thing. They're going to stay consistent. They're going to get you to playoffs. Milwaukee Bucks. Guaranteed. They are the team that's going to get you there. Don't even trip. They're going to do their thing. They're going to do their job. They've got the reigning two-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're going to be there. So invest in them. Invest in that. That's a stock to definitely hold on to because you know they're going to make the playoffs. Now, this stock, they're trending up. I'm going to be real with y'all. They're kind of funny money. Like, they're not really showing profits, but they keep producing money for those that are investing in them. I'm going to call them, that's the Clippers to me. I'd say investing in them because they're going to get you to the playoffs and they're going to make it. Now, beyond that, I don't know. They may have a big dip once they hit the playoffs, because Clippers haven't made it past second round ever in Clippers history. So we don't know if they're going to make it past where they say they are. So I feel like they're funny money. They're not real because they don't ever get past the second round. They're great teams. They're always built like you would think they'd be doing something, but they're not going nowhere. So I'd invest in them and ride the wave and then jump out as soon as the playoffs hit. Bail. I don't see them going past second round yet again. Two stocks that are taking advantage of today. So what I mean by today is that we've been going through a pandemic. Everybody's at home. Everybody's doing things at the house. We don't know when this is going to change and when the stay-at-home stuff is going to change. We don't know. Mask, all of that, we don't know. So these two stocks really took advantage. One was a surpriser, and the other one, you kind of expected it to happen, and it makes sense to stay invested in them. That's Amazon is one. That's the Brooklyn Nets. They started making acquisitions, adding additional pieces, and they're doing nothing but going up. And they're taking advantage of today. They added a piece in James Harden, and they are the best, almost historic offense in NBA history. Now, granted, because of the acquisition, they are also historically the worst defense in NBA history so far, based upon the way they're trending, but that doesn't mean they ain't winning. They may be losing questionable games, but they are beating top teams. And that's all you want out of a steady stock. You want it to consistently just keep driving. You know, you don't need it to shoot up. I mean, you want it to, but you don't need it to. A good steady investment is always a plus in comparison to those that are all over the place. So the Nets, they're definitely that. Another one, this was a shocker to me because I invested in them early, but I didn't realize that this was going to be what it is today, is Shopify. Now, you may not know what Shopify is, but Shopify is an e-commerce software platform that's used, software as a service, that is used to house people's storefronts. And because all of us has been in the house, guess what happened? Everybody starting up stores and everybody starting up businesses, and boom, that thing blew up. Utah Jazz. They are flying up. Right now, if I'm correct, based upon today, they are still ranked as the number one team in the West. Best record. What does that tell you? Taking advantage of today. In a very shocking way. Especially if you think about the fact that a lot of the problems we've seen with the league, which is going to lead to one of my other stocks that I feel like is just tanking, that you need to go ahead and just dump every single share you possibly have. But yeah, Jazz number one in the West, followed by the Clippers and the Lakers. They are taking advantage of today. They got rest. They didn't play too long in the playoffs. And because of that, they're able to come out here and ball out. Jazz, buy. Buy. Another one is taking advantage of today, and it looks like they're getting everything together and adding, their pieces are starting to actually flourish today. It's one stock that I also invested in pretty early that I was really, really high on was Roku. You know, the little sticks that you use to make your TV smart, or if you have a smart TV, makes it smarter. Philadelphia 76ers, top team in the East. Yep, tops in the East. And guess what? Taking advantage of today. They didn't play much in the playoffs. They got eliminated early by Boston and got a new coach. I think Roku made some changes in leadership. Starting to come together. That's a good stock to jump into. I think Philadelphia is going to be for real. I think they're going to finish this season in the top 3 in the East. So these are all things for the first quarter, but they're looking like a really legit team. And Joel Embiid is showing us an MVP campaign. I mean, don't argue it. The man's looking MVP-ish. Okay, let's wrap it up with a couple of them. Your tanking stock, that Chesapeake Energy, the one that kind of got taken off of a lot of trading sites, and the numbers just keep dropping. They did a reverse split and brought stocks together, and they basically vanished. Miami Heat. They are showing you all how much Jimmy Butler means to them, because he was out for a lot of the season so far. And I don't think that they're going to disappoint. They might not make the playoffs. They're not. It sucks because I really want to see them go deep in the East, but the fact that they didn't want to give up Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson for James Harden, they're paying for it right now. And it ain't looking good. So I'd sell my Miami stock. I don't think that they're going to make. They should make the playoffs, but I think they're tanking, which is a good thing for this one, which is our losing, which is winning, is Uber stock. For some reason, Uber has lost billions every single quarter, but their stock prices keep going up and people keep investing in them. That's my thunder right now. There's something about them. They have a very bright future outlook, and it feels like they're going to have the right innovation, and when it hits, boom, everything's going to blow up. That's Uber. It's the Thunder. That roster is not a non-play. It's not a tanking roster. It's like we thought. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is showing up. Darius Bazley he's up and down, but he's showing you why he was drafted in the late first round. Lou Dort is a steal. That's one piece of innovation. That's one piece of purchase. I mean, if you think about it, with Uber, the one thing they did is they acquired, was that Postmates? And now they're basically just food delivery in a pandemic, which is perfect. Still ain't making no money, but it's perfect for today. So one day that's going to blow. That Lou Dort investment by Sam Presti, chef's kiss. Tossing all the other pieces they put together with Pokovetsky, who's trying. He'll get there. I'm not too concerned. He's only 18. Theo Maledon, my apologies. Ridiculous guard. He looks like he's going to be a future potential star. I don't say superstar, but I think he's going to be Tony Parker-ish type player. Hopefully he's not sleeping with other people's wives. But that's not the point. But then you go into the last two, which, as I wrap this one up, is your weed stocks, your cannabis stocks. One of these days they're going to hit Boston Celtics. Green, go together. But Boston is one of these days going to hit hard. So I'd invest in cannabis. Celtics have everything you need, but there's just something about them. I'm wondering if it's coaching. I'm wondering if it's Brad Stevens. And I don't like knocking Brad Stevens because he's been able to do a lot with a little, but he seems like one of those coaches that's really good with young players, that's good with non-stars. And then when he gets stars, he doesn't know how to just let the stars do their thing. I don't know, but Boston is one to always invest in because you never know. One of these days it's going to hit hard, even when it's ups and downs. But that's the good thing is there's still a consistent, steady climb with them. So I would keep them in mind. And then lastly, the GameStop stock of them, the one that everyone doubted that shot up, it's probably not going to last as long as you want it to. It's going to be the Hornets. Now, LaMelo Ball has been ridiculous, and they finally threw him in the starting lineup. I don't know if that's a good thing or not yet. I'm going to have to watch some more games and figure that out and see what the long-term effects is. But him coming off the bench, he was ridiculous. He's one of those you buy and sit on, and as you felt like you see a peak out of it, you jump out of it. You pick a number, and you stick to that number. And if that number comes through, you get out immediately. Because LaMelo Ball is great. He had been short sold since before he came in the league. Everyone hates his dad, but he went out there and he is balling out. He is the one that you should throw your money into for right now, because I don't think that he's going to end up the way GameStop is ending today. I think that he is a great long-term play. He's probably more so an AMC play, because once we go to the once quarantine kind of shrinks down, people are going to the movies. They're going to break their necks to go to movies because people want to go back to that scene. They want to go back to what they feel like is normal. And I feel like the Hornets is that with LaMelo Ball and the way that they're finally starting to unleash him. He will bring us the Hornets of the 90s. He will bring us back to the old school normals for us old heads of the way the 90s played, and they were competitive. So I can see LaMelo Ball doing that for us. So be prepared for the way that he's playing. So my parting thoughts real quick is going to be Washington, buy some Washington stock. There's no way they're going to stay that far down. They've got to be better unless they trade everybody. We'll see if that happens. Buy futures with the Thunder because they are worth it. I want you to consider buying the Mavericks because I think they're going to make an acquisition that's going to help them get Luka and them to the next level. Because Luka by himself is not it, and he's starting to play really bad because he's showing to his desperation, and that's that age. His youth is coming out. Stocks to sell. I'm selling the Timberwolves stock. I ain't going to ever buy anymore. I thought D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns was going to be it, and they just don't play very well together. It just don't look good. The Pelicans are shopping Lonzo Ball. The team overall just don't look like they're very well coached. I wonder why. Buy Golden State stock. They're going to figure it out. They will. Sell Miami stock. I don't think they will. And a stock that I don't want you to sell, they're a playoff team right now, but I don't think it's going to finish this way. It's going to be Memphis Grizzlies. Unfortunately, I sense an injury is going to come. It's going to slow them down. But Ja Morant is ridiculous. He's what you want. He's everything that they needed at the number 2 pick. He is living to those expectations. They got to surround him with some better pieces. So let's see what happens.